Welcome to my playhouse, and today I'm gonna be working indoors even though it's a beautiful day outside. But I have this project that I wanna have done before it really becomes summer, and it's this electric plug. And this is I wouldn't call it the original plug for the house, because I don't think the house was built with electrics installed at all. I figured out that these electric plugs are from around the 30s or the 40s, so they're rather old and they're not really up to date, and I don't want it to look like this anymore. I've installed a brand new pretty door with windows and everything, and I want new switches as well. So what I'm gonna do right now, actually, I was almost about to start without actually filming this. I'm gonna go up and shut off the power, and I'm gonna take this apart and see what's inside. I've readied a piece of paper and a pen so that I can describe what I find inside, so that I take this out and redo it when the wires are nicely tucked away inside of the wall. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use an angle grinder, and I'm gonna take this apart, and I'm gonna make a cut on each side, these in the wall, and put them inside of the wall. I'm not gonna put those inside the wall. I have some other newer material, plastic thing that's gonna go inside the wall, and I'm gonna put some concrete or tiling adhesive on top of that to glue them inside of the wall. And then of course after that there is coming a nice piece of fiber drywall on top of that, so they'll be nicely tucked away. Here we are at my switch box, and I'm gonna turn off the two. These are off, they're not even connected, but these two are connected, and I'm just gonna turn off power to those. So now I should not be able to get electrocuted. Back downstairs, let's take this apart. I'm not gonna break these because, well, I do films and I would like to keep these as props. I'm sure this wouldn't be approved today. There's two old wires and there's a new wire inside. Okay, the new wire goes onto the other side of the wall. Let's just see that. Can we see this? There's a new wire right there, that plastic one, and that goes right out here, where there is another outlet. I'm not gonna be changing that right now, so I'm just gonna disconnect this. This is fairly easy, it's just a plus and a minus. I'm cheating a little bit. Together with the things that I'm doing on paper, I'm also gonna take some photos of this. There is oh, this is just nailed into the wall with big nails. That's really unnecessary. I'm gonna color code these. I'm gonna make them green. Okay, in this one for the light switches, there is one wire coming down. That's the hot wire, and that I've marked that with orange. Let's just use the orange one. I'll mark that wire with orange, and that goes into this switch, and it's passed on down to this switch, and the other one on this switch that goes back up to turn on the light over in this corner over here. Oh, sorry, the hallway out here. I've marked that with brown. So now I'm ready to detach this plug. And on the bottom one, there is this cable that's just the power. And there is two cables going out of that, and that turns on the light on each side of the door. So I'm gonna mark those with two colors. One of them is gonna be yellow, and the other one I'm gonna mark with a red piece of tape. Now I can pull this apart as well. I'm just gonna take a little picture. This little piece of wire, I'm not gonna reuse that. So now I should be able to take all of this down. Somebody nailed it. So now there is just a lot of wires hanging back here. Two holes up there. I don't think I'm gonna change that. I'm still gonna have the two holes and do two separate lines down here so that everything will be just as it was. This is the tubing that I'm gonna use. Probably everybody knows this. This is kind of electric thing, and it's rather flexible, and then again not too much so that the cables will be inside of that. And I haven't got much of it left, but it's plenty for this little job. It's just a couple of meters or something like that. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make some pieces that will fit up there from the top and down to where the new switches are gonna be inside of the wall. And I'm gonna insulate the cables at the bottom so that I can power on the house again, because I need power to drill and do all the other things. The angle grinder that is gonna be doing the slits in the wall to get this inside of the wall, that's power driven. Haven't got one that does batteries yet. I really want one. Now there is two new lines, and I will go insulate the wires at the bottom here so that I can work with this with power on the system. So now all the cables or wires has been insulated so that they're rather safe to work with. This one is not insulated, and that's because this is not where the power comes from. This one is powered from these. So I don't need to insulate that. I'll just short circuit it when I put back on the power to make totally sure that I'm correct. I have been fiddling around with where to place this outlet and this light switches, and kind of think that it's gonna be right there. The cable from the other side of the wall is I've put that through to hold it in place. These cables are way too long, but this cable, which is the switch, the outlet, is not that long. So I have to place it here, and I hope the outlet can still be at the bottom. That's pretty much the normal place for us to have them. The long cables have to go up here, and the short cables have to go down there. It's rather stupid, but well, that's how it is. Well, so this is what I've done. I've made a slice in the wall, 2 of them down here, and down here where the plugs are, I made a square. You can maybe see the square right there, and up there, and there, and that's where the plugs and the switches and stuff is gonna be inside. So now I have to bring out the hammer and the chisel and get rid of all the extras. Okay, I've made a bucket of tiling adhesive, and I'm about ready to put in the plug and put on some tiling adhesive on top of this. Up here I've fastened the lines into the wall so that the cable is not going to be sticking out too much. And I made a mess on the ceiling, that's not too good. But I think I'll be able to get this in there nicely. I'm just gonna measure out. I think maybe I have to take a little bit more off this corner. I have to check that. I just made everything wet over there so that the tiling adhesive will stick better. And I cleaned the ceiling a little bit with water. It's a mess. Okay, I just put the plug in there, and I'm gonna glue it on to the wall. I put some tiling adhesive in there before I plugged it, pushed it in. So now I'm filling up the cracks around it with more of this tiling adhesive. I'll tidy this up some more and make it look really good. I hope it's straight. It's kind of straight. I have again powered down the house, and now I'm gonna remove the insulation and I'm gonna put in the cables, and until further notice they will just be in there. But I have to take these off before I could get the cables inside, which is kind of It's kind of irritating. I knew that, but well, I didn't think much of it, but well, I'll have to do that. Okay, so far so good. The cables are getting there. There's still no power on, so I'm just wetting it a little bit. And I'm gonna put some more tiling and adhesive right there. Okay, I've been trying out. I have a bit of an issue. This cable is barely long enough. It's exactly long enough so that the switch can be down here, but the plug that is going in above it the cable would be in the way. So I have to lengthen, make that longer, and that's really stupid. It's gonna be this much or something like that. That's really irritating. But otherwise, I have put back on the insulation on the other cables. I'll now fill out the hole or the gap with the tiling adhesive all the way down. There is power on the system again. Are way inside of the wall. Nice. Okay, it's actually the next day. I know on video it's hard to see, but these tiling adhesive has had time to harden, and I tried to do this yesterday. I have been up turning off the power, so it's safe to play with, and I wanted to put this in yesterday, but the tiling adhesive was too soft, so every time I tried to do something, it was pushing in on this thing that's in the wall now, and I was afraid if I did anything with it, well, it would be too small so that I wouldn't be able to proceed. But I'm gonna detach this again, and I'm gonna make the short wire a little longer, and I've been preparing for that. Down here I have a little emergency kit, because to play with this I had to turn off the power. So I have a big battery. You would have seen this in one of my other videos, and that battery is connected to an inverter, and right now that inverter is powering my soldering iron. And that reminds me, I forgot the solder in the basement. And through the magic of video editing, here's the solder. The plan is, this is shrink tubing. I'm gonna use some of that, and I'm gonna take two wires. Where is the little wire? There it is. I have a little piece of wire here, and I'm gonna solder that to the wire that is coming down up here, the short one. That's a lot of wires, but there's a little short one, and I'm gonna solder those two together, get a good connection, and put some heat shrink on that. Okay, it's gonna be very interesting to see if I can get this to stick. This is a new cable, so there would probably be no problem getting solder around this. That actually got a really good connection. There it is. That's really. I have cut off a little piece of heat shrink, and I'm gonna put it on first. I'm gonna put it on here, and I'm gonna heat shrink it. I have a heat gun, but it's 1,000 watts, and I don't think it's gonna work. I just tried it, and the inverter died immediately. I think these wires for the battery, they're too long, and the current that is gonna be drawn is too much. So, but let's just see what happens, and I'm gonna point it at the setup so that if it actually works, I get the most out of it. Is it? No. That was a short work. Apparently I'm not able to draw 1,000 watts. It's probably the wires that are way too long, way too thin. I'm gonna go for something older. I'm gonna find something that can make a flame and just heat shrink it with a flame. Yeah. Really old school. Oh. That hurt. Now I'm gonna be putting on a bigger piece of heat shrink that can go over this cable as well. And this time I don't want to burn my fingers. Piece of cake. And now the cable is a lot longer. So I'm actually probably gonna cut half of it off again so that it ain't that much too long. This white cable is the one that is supplying the power to the cable on the other side. So I'm gonna plug that into this same outlet. These outlets come with, like, where am I there? There are 2 holes in the outlet, and there's a ground. I don't have any ground connection in this wiring. The house is too old. But up here where the connections go in, there are 2 holes on each. So the power can come in and it can go on to the next outlet. So I'm gonna put the wires in there. And I think that I know that this wire is the wrong cable for this kind of work. I don't think it's even really legal to put in this cable. Okay, I got that one in really good, so no problem there. And now I'm gonna shorten this one a little bit. First to lengthen it and then to shorten it. It's a bit like crossing the river for water. Right over that plug is it's gonna be 2 light switches. They're right here, and the light switches. Let's just see where they go. Up here, right there, is a light outtake, and right over here, there's another light outtake. So that's where that switch is. Or that is what that switch is going to be controlling. And to manage that, I will have to use my fantastic drawing on how the light switches was connected. And it's that one that I need to look at. And over the chimney is the one on the left. Over the window is the one on the right. Had to cut a little bit of the cables, and this one is really to be used on the top one, I guess. That's the brown one, yeah. I might have to mingle it a little bit when I have to put the covers on at some point. Very nice. And now I'll just mount the last one. And the last one is kind of mounted, just needs to put it in the wall. And that's what it looks like right now. It's not that pretty, I do admit it. I have some nice covers that are going to be on it. That is gonna finish it off a lot more nicely. They're gonna be behind the plugs. Then I have to take them out again. I should have put those in. But why did I do that? There's gonna be a wall on top of this. That's why I didn't do it. That's it. Now I'm actually gonna go up and I'm gonna turn back the power and see if this works. Hopefully it does. Well, slight problem. Kind of mixed up these two wires, so it did work, and we're gonna see that in a little bit, but they were turning on and off the wrong lights. So trade places on these two cables. Okay, moment of truth. Is everything working? This one is the light out here, so press down, light comes on. Very nice. This one is the light on the right, and that comes on. This one is the light on the left. There is no light there, so that it's not blowing up or anything is a good thing. And this one is just power. So let's take this thing that didn't work just before and plug that in. I'm just gonna turn it off and turn it on. That works great. I need to tighten this a bit better and maybe not leave that hot one on the floor. That's it from now. I fixed my old plugs and light switches, and they're gonna be really cool, just like the other ones that I did in another video. I'm really happy with this so far. I would have liked to exchange the cables because the cables are very old, but it's kind of a job to go up to the lamp socket and get the wires changed all the way inside of the wall and inside of the ceiling and stuff like that. That's a job for another day. Well, yeah. Hope you enjoyed this video. Do subscribe to my channel so that you can see me again, and please give me that thumbs up that you tend to forget. The thumbs up. It's one of the sides. I really have to figure this one out so that I can point in the right direction from time to time. So I'll go practice. Have a great day. Bye bye.